before we get into tonight's show, we just want to take a moment to acknowledge the sad news, heartbreaking news that come out today. It was confirmed that Liverpool forward Diogo Jota and his brother Andre tragically lost their lives in a car accident in Spain. He was just 28 years old, a young man, Premier League champion, a father, husband who'd only recently got married. In moments like this, football rivalries don't matter. What matters is the human loss, the pain his family, friends, teammates, and the fans are feeling right now. From all of us here, our thoughts and prayers go out to his wife, their children, and everyone connected to the Jota family. So we'd like to say rest in peace, Diogo. Rest in peace, Andre. Gone far too soon. So right now, we're just going to take a moment, just a minute's silence for Diogo and Andre, and then we're going to start the show. Thank you. Right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Some sad news. Let's just bring everyone in from backstage. And welcome to the new guest this week, my actual own brother, Anthony, as well.
Hello, everyone.
You all right?
All right, bruv, you? Yeah, not bad.
Not too bad.
All right.
And the regular Big Anthony. Well, you're both big. Well, you Tic Tac, Anthony, my brother. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sad news. Sad news. Have you got any thoughts you want to share, boys?
It's terrible, to be fair. His brother as well. I believe his brother was a footballer as well. I'm not too sure who he played for, but
Yeah, he was.
yeah, bloody hell. 28 years old. It's no life, is it?
Not at all, mate. Not at all. Oh, okay. So we're going to start the show. We're going to go through the transfer rumours of the week.
Please, I just want to say one thing yet about Diogo Jota. You know, obviously, rest in peace to him and his brother. It's sad news. It's nice to know that both football teams that he played for, Liverpool and Wolves, are actually they're doing something nice to him to honour Diogo Jota and his brother. But with sad news like this, you've got condolences goes out to friends and family, and it's sad when something like that happens. Obviously, you got married 10 days ago, and obviously with his 3 kids as well, and they're the ones that's going to be obviously struggling. And I believe obviously we're all dads here, and that, so
Yeah.
you've got to think of the kids at the end of the day, and and I just hope they get through it and quick as possible, and then but listen, to them he's gone but never forgotten. Diogo Jota, what a player, and also what a talent, and is a sad loss to English football and Portuguese football as well. Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
AFC always. Football aside, this is a tragic news. Thoughts with everyone connected, to Jota and the Silver families. Rest in peace. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's terrible, tragic news, man. I mean, I heard it. I was actually at a boot sale this morning, and I heard it like at 6 o'clock this morning or something. I think it happened about start of midnight. Was it? I don't know the full details. There was driving a Lamborghini, veered off something. I'm not sure of all the details, so I can't really comment on anything else. But obviously, rest in peace. So we're going to get into the rumours that have been going around over the last week, and this one struck me, man. This one absolutely shook me to the core. Why Arsenal are interested in yet another Chelsea player that obviously is a reject because Chelsea don't want him. They want to try and offload him. Let's just quickly read this message out. As always, life is a promise. Make the most of every day. Absolutely. AFC always. God bless you. Yeah, matter of fact, I did do a video on it. So people on the channel that visit the channel know what I think about it. So let's go. Let's start with Anthony, the bottom Anthony. Let's start with you. What do you think about these?
I totally agree with you there, Lee. To be fair, mate, I don't think we should have a Chelsea reject down as backup. To be fair, there's been the likes of you got Anthony Gordon, easy. Even Mohamed Kudus from West Ham were all better choices to me than someone like that. You know what I mean? To be fair, I'm not a big Chelsea fan. I really can't stand Chelsea as it is myself. But Havertz is probably the only Chelsea player that we've really had that has made an impact out of all the time we've had him, from Yossi Benayoun to Jorginho. Jorginho, he cut it quite good, to be fair. He filled gaps in when we needed to, but yeah, the Chelsea players don't want to play for Arsenal. Peter Cech, one of the best world-class players. We got him from Chelsea. Look at him. It was terrible in an Arsenal club. David Luiz, terrible.
Mm. Willian.
What?
Willian.
Fucking hell, Willian. Yeah, pardon my language. Sorry. Yeah, Willian as well. Another one. Yeah. Someone that was brilliant for years at Chelsea. They don't want to play in an Arsenal shirt. They didn't like Raheem Sterling. No one knew why Man City was letting him go. Like, you know what I mean? He went to Chelsea. He was terrible when we took him on. Why? What? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can understand having backup. I can understand that. But these players, we need strength in depth. We don't need like these players that are not doing it where they are. You know what I mean? And they're not coming in at strength or depth, are they? You know what I mean? They're coming in as a chance, and we need strength.
Yeah. Anthony, top Anthony.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? It all stems back, doesn't it? In theory, if you can cast your minds back, the first one we had from Chelsea was William Gallas. So that's how I think that's how it's all started. Look, I'm not happy with these Chelsea rejects we're getting. I mean, obviously, and you could put Kai Havertz in that as well. You know, I said when we first signed him, I said there might be a player inside there, like, you know, just ready to produce the goods, you know, and that sort of thing. I haven't been happy with Kai Havertz. You know, I hold my hands up. It was a mistake on my behalf of saying that, but look, I own up to my mistakes. But I'm getting fed up now, like everybody, well, like every Arsenal fan, Chelsea rejects. Listen, I just think they get a worldie in, and then they can fucking pass him on to us. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, get an Osherman in. Yeah, we'll have him. We'll take him. But it sounds stupid, lads. But I said the other night on a show, I said, do you reckon with Chelsea? Do you reckon there's something to do with, like, I think, is Arsenal paying them for some sort of scouting policy or something? Because we're always getting their fucking players is unreal. So, but do you know what, Lee? To answer your question with this Chelsea striker, Medina, no, I don't want him. Don't want him at all. Don't want him near the club.
So we're a Chelsea dumping ground, AFC always, and Arteta collects Chelsea's bin bags.
Well, might as well.
Yeah.
So, we can put him in the bin. I'll put him in the bin after.
Yeah, put him in the bin, exactly that. But I think we've got someone down here who actually.
Oh, yeah, he said the other. Yeah, he said
Fair boys, you got to remember, right? So I grew up in the 90s, yeah. So we was at the top there, you know what I mean? We was at our best. You know, I'm an Arsenal Wenger. I never wanted Wenger to go. You know what I mean? For what he's done for the Premiership alone, let alone our football club, was unbelievable. But we did need new blood. And to be fair, answer me the question now: who would you replace him with?
Anyone.
Who? Sam Allardyce. No way.
You start. Tell you what, if Arteta left and a new manager come in, he'll start flip flopping on that one. Do you know what I mean? So he would. So yeah, I don't know.
Arteta's got us back to where he was. I think he has, like, to we're challenging now, and that's for a top club. All you can ask for is challenging. You know what I mean? We're a league that supplies a chance of 6 winners. We're the only league in the world that does that. Every other league pretty much is a 2-league club, a 3-league club. You know, a 3-club league. Sorry. You know what I mean? But we're the only one that any one of our 6 could win it at any time. If we're finishing second over 3, yeah, that's not good enough. No, it really ain't. But at the same time, I'd rather be doing that to where he was before he took over. And look at the transfers he brings into who he wants now. Emery was there. Emery wanted Zaha. Yeah, all right, we want Zaha. Told Zaha he was coming to us, and we bought Pepe. Fuck, like, you know what I mean? But he never had the authority that Arteta's got in the club. He never had the trust, and now they've got it. Look at the players they're bringing in.
Yeah, Unai Emery wasn't back there, was he? For the amount of for the 18 months that he was there, he wasn't back. Unai Emery, in my opinion.
No, that's what I mean. He wasn't. No, he wasn't. For him to want a player, and then for the Arsenal heresy or whatever you want to call it, get someone else is diabolical for a manager. You're right. He wasn't back. He wasn't, but to be fair, I think to myself personally, we've got Arteta's worked. He was Arsene Wenger's captain. Pep Guardiola's second. They're 2 of the greatest managers to ever grace the Premiership, and to work with them 2 in them capacities, mate, he's going to come good for us. With the right players, he'll come good for us. Trust.
There's a message from Calvin for you, Dave. Is this guy drunk?
Is this guy drunk? No, I'm high on life, man. I'm high on life.
Okay. So that's interesting. Right. So some more news coming out today is that Viktor Gyokeres is training alone away from the rest of the Sporting Lisbon team. He's training alone, and he's allowed he's got to keep fit, but he's allowed to go back next Monday. So he's got an extra 7 days off because of all this transfer rumours that are going. All this. Oh shit! What's happened? All this about what's going on about his contract. About he was promised that he will be able to leave. He was promised this. He was promised that. He was promised that he stays another year from last summer, that he could leave for 60 million plus 10. Gentleman's agreement. He's come out. He's fuming. The president of Sporting Lisbon has said, it's not happening. You're not going for cheap. You're part of his club. He's threatening to go on strike. He's done a video saying about how much he wants to come to Arsenal. And he said, I don't know if you've seen the video, but he actually said in the video, I want to come to Arsenal. If it doesn't happen, it's not my fault. So basically, he's saying he whatever contract or terms they've already offered him, he's signed it. He said he's happy with it. He'll come to the club. Now it's down to Arsenal and Sporting, but Sporting president is digging his heels in. So what do you think about that? Do you think it means that we're going to sign Gyokeres, or do you think it means that he's just going to, I don't know, go on strike, or just be a bench player? They think they're going to punish him by putting him on the bench. Is he going to sign a contract? If someone else comes in for him, do you think he'll sign? Like Man United, for example, he doesn't want Man United. Apparently, he only wants Arsenal. So
it makes you think. It makes you think, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? If somebody's training on their own, it proves that there's something wrong. And not just wrong, there's something lacking. He's given a week off. So with this week off, he goes back into the team, yeah? Like he goes back training with Sporting.
Right? What I'm saying is, sorry, Anthony, what I'm saying is during this week that he's away from the squad, do you think it's going to be sorted out then? Like, this is what I meant.
No, I don't think it'd be sorted. I don't think it'd be sorted out within 7 days. I don't. Because I'll tell you something now. Let's flip the coin around. If that was Gyokeres playing for Arsenal and somebody wanted him, what would Arteta do? Arteta would have thrown his toys out the pram, yeah, and he would have sent the guy in, like what he did with the Aubameyang, and players like that.
Yeah, Aubameyang did rebel a little bit, didn't he? And he just got rid of him.
Yeah, so obviously that'd be that there. I think obviously with Sporting they might handle things differently, But listen, if he comes, great. I do want Gyokeres at Arsenal. I don't want Sesko. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And but yeah, I mean it's sad that it's come to this, like for a player to train on his own. At the end of the day, I think Arsenal's got the money there to get him. I don't know why we just can't quickly snap him up, pay the money, and bring the guy over. Yeah. Get it done and dusted. Because we're waiting for all these. The only ones that's come through at the minute is Kepa. We know we got Zubamendi.
Yeah.
And we know we got the other sign in. I don't know if we're going to go on to them after. I'm not too sure, so I won't talk too much about it. But it's obvious that the 3 players that we want, they're the ones that's coming in first. So we'll get them 3 in, and then whatever other players we go in after, whatever's rumoured. Listen, like us 3, like any other Arsenal fan, we just got to pretty much guess, and we'll see in the end who comes in at the striking situation.
It is a guessing game at the moment.
Yeah,
Viktor Gyokeres is a must for Arsenal.
I agree with you. I think he is a must for Arsenal. It's what we've been missing for years. So he reminds me of Jermaine Defoe here and right. You know what I mean? He's that sort of player. He's prolific. He's snatched the ball in the box. He's not scared of it, and that's what we've been missing for years. We've not had an out-and-out striker for since Giroud really. But Giroud was he weren't played like we needed him. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But he was our last out-and-out striker, and we've not had one since him, Well,
Aubameyang was played out of position a lot, weren't he? He was played on the left.
Well, that's why I wouldn't call him an out-and-out striker, because he's most of his goals he scored for us, he come from the left wing.
Yeah.
So he wasn't an out-and-out striker that we need, was he? He was played more as a winger.
Well, there's a question from AFC always. Would Gyokeres score more than 20 league goals in Arteta's system? In the 4-3-3?
With the right players around him, yeah. With the right players around him.
As long as he don't drop deep.
That's it.
As long as he stays up front, stays on the shoulder of the last defender, I think he'd get 30 goals. I really do.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's what he's a player like that, a fox in the box. Is what we missed. We walked it we walked it around the pitch for so many years and tried to walk it into goals. We need that greedy player just going to snatch it. And it's these team goals are brilliant and they look lovely, but at the end of the day, we've got to be ugly sometimes, and we've not got that in us.
Yeah.
I don't know about 30 goals, mine, but I think he's capable of scoring 20. Look, I can remember Gyokeres when he first played, when he came in the Premier League, when he started playing for Brighton. And I'll be honest with you, he was shit. He was, because Brighton kept loaning him out all the time. They loaned him out to Swansea. They loaned him out to Coventry. And Coventry bought him. And then, obviously, in his last season in the Championship, he scored, I think it was approximately, 25 goals in the Championship. And then, obviously, Sporting snapped him up. But I always said, and I always stick by this, right? The Portuguese league is an easy league. I mean, you've got Benfica, Porto, and Sporting. They're your top 3 teams in Portugal. The rest is whatever. So, in all fairness, that is most probably why Gyokeres has scored so many goals. I'm not faulting him for it. I reckon, no, listen, Lee, I reckon he's done well over there. But you've got to think, the standard of the Portuguese league compared to the standard of the English Premier League, we're talking two different. It's totally different.
Or in the Champions League, no?
The Champions League is European, isn't it? So it's obviously European football because you've got all the teams around Europe all in there. So it's like what I said. So you can understand that to a certain extent, obviously, with Champions League as well. But when you come to the Premier League, it's totally different. It is, to me, Lee, I'll be honest with you, the Premier League is one of the fastest leagues in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I agree with you. It's a lot different from playing, as you said, it's a lot different from playing the bottom of Boa Vista in Portugal to a Thursday night or a Wednesday night freezing bollocks off playing against a FA Cup Stoke who's going to kick your ankles all night long. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot different.
I get that.
But obviously, and for me, he is the missing link, you know, and he is. Then even if we, obviously, I don't agree that we didn't get a player in January to fill the void with goals. I really don't. But I mean, if we was going to wait for the likes of him, then I do. You know what I mean? I think to myself that he's a fit in. He definitely is.
It's got to be because we've got to get the left winger sorted out as well, and we've got to get and we've got to get the striker. You know, we've got some players in to replace Jorginho and Partey. Is it an upgrade? I ain't so sure yet. You know,
I think Zubomendi would be an upgrade to who we had there before. Norgard, he's a solid player. He's a solid, consistent player. He is with Premier League experience, which it could come in handy playing alongside of Zubomendi when he's just gelling himself. You know what I mean?
Okay. Calvin was talking about Gyokeres there, I think. Yes, he would. And that's what we really need. BX Gunners, greetings. Stefan's, rest in peace, Jota. Yeah, rest in peace, Jota, and his brother Andre. Zubomendi ain't better than Partey. Well, I mean, I've seen him play probably twice. In all honesty, Zubomendi. I thought he played well against Portugal for Spain in the Nations League. Thought he had a very good game there. But is he better than Partey? I'm not so sure. I don't know, AFC. I mean, I haven't seen enough of him. But last season, Partey was immense. Even when he was forced to cover at right back, he done a job.
Unbelievable player. I mean, mate, to be fair, we lost. By not giving him a new deal, we lost him. You know what I mean? That was a wrong mistake there. We should have got that done and dusted earlier. You know what I mean? But he's an unbelievable player. We're gonna miss him. But that's what I think. The Norgard is coming in. Norgard's gonna come in to help Zubomendi gel in the in that position. To be fair.
But remember we bought Partey from Atletico Madrid?
Yeah.
Berta was he was the managing director there, and apparently the rumor was they both had a falling out. So obviously with Berta now coming into Arsenal, I don't think Partey was keen on that. I suppose I don't know what it was over, but I suppose Partey he can't forgive him in whatever it was. So I think that was the reason why Partey demanded. I think it was around about he wanted. Was it to be on 220k a week? They're around about.
Havertz is on 280.
I know, but they refused Partey to. They said no, it's too much in wages. Because, but I thought to myself, I would have actually given it because it would have only been for a year, and a year, 1 season extension would have done me for Partey.
How good that bench would have been for that position, the number 6, if we got Zubomendi and Partey. You know, there's Declan Rice can cover there. No guys in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Marino can play there. Marino's 6. Everyone's forgetting about him.
But to be fair, well, Marino's Zubomendi's understudy in Spain, isn't he? Zubomendi starts in front of Marino.
They both started going Rodri, though, didn't
they? When they played us in the final, Marino they put on it. They didn't start Zubomendi and Marino. Marino replaced Zubomendi.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he did. Yeah, and he was the when we signed him, Marino, from Real Sociedad. He was actually the third choice midfielder, not first or second, third.
Well,
So, but look, I think
Norgard ain't better than Jorginho either. And Moraine.
I don't believe he. I believe he's a different player. He's a different player. He's a player that's going to win you the ball. He's not the player that's going to give you a spray. He's the player that's going to win the ball and give you like a 4-foot pass to a player that's going to spray that ball.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
He's going in to teach the speed. The speed. He knows the speed of the Premiership. He knows that. Without Partey or anyone being there, Zubamendi's not going to know it. So that's the only reason Norgard's coming in is to show that we need that in Zubamendi, and that obviously having Norgard there will probably bring that into him.
Interesting.
It's just
But
like
you know what, man?
just like years ago when.
Yeah, when we used to watch Jorginho, and Lee, you've seen it, and you've seen it, I've seen it. If he started a full game within 60, 65 minutes of the game, his legs were gone.
Yeah.
His legs were gone, and he couldn't last an all game. And people, whether they disagree with me or not, I thought the same. Do you remember the German player we signed, Podolski? How he played like one left as well.
Logan Podolski,
After 60 minutes, within the first hour, after that hour, he used to struggle.
Yeah.
With
another same thing with him. Another out and out striker we put on the left midfield.
Yeah.
Richie, is this your brother? Anthony?
Sorry?
Say again?
Is this your brother, Richie? Is this your brother?
No, that ain't my brother. No, my brother. Well, I told you about my brother. He's a Man United fan. I think my mum dropped him on his fucking head when he was little when he supported Man United.
I thought his
my brother's a Liverpool fan.
I thought he looks a little bit like you. Anyway, you say big up panel, big up everyone in the chat. Today, football rivalry, etc., takes a back seat. Absolutely, Rich. Absolutely.
So, I believe Rich is actually. He got his own channel, Lee. I believe.
Oh, have you got a channel, Rich?
I think he's got his own channel. If he could put the link in the chat and people can follow him, and obviously vice versa, whatever, you know.
Okay, we'll have a look. I'll have a little look at your channel, Rich. If you've got one, put the link in there. Partey is our all-round best midfielder. We have become a charity for other clubs, charity for fucking Chelsea. That's for sure. Give us your offcuts, mate. We'll take the shit. We'll take.
Oh, it is. It's funny. It's like Arsenal walking into a fucking Chelsea charity shop.
Yeah.
And buying the second hand stuff. It is though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. So there was news. Sorry. Go on.
I was just saying. I was just saying. People might believe that he can come and make an impact like Havertz did a bit at first, but at the same time, if we get him as our striker, we might as well get Nketiah back. You know what I mean? Nketiah would be better than him. You know, it's stupidness. So I can't believe we linked to a player like that.
So people in the chat, there's another Arsenal channel, Rich99 Arsenal. If he wants to put his channel handle or link in the chat, so you go follow him. He's going live tonight at 10 p.m. As always is promoting you there, Rich. You're going to be live at 10 p.m. tonight. So I might, if I'm awake, because I went boots out today. You know, I was up at 4:30. So I'm a little bit tired. Look at my head. It's red. Burnt me fucking head. I'm a little bit tired, so I might not be awake, but I will check your channel out. You're welcome.
Give me the phone call. Give me your number and the address of your barber, and I'll get your money back. All right.
I've done it myself.
What? You done it yourself?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
That's why he looks like he's put his head on upside down.
Yeah.
Right.
It's actually nice. It's actually good for the Albert brothers, actually, for one of them to actually come on and talk some sense. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, blinded. Yeah, thanks for that. You're going to be a regular, Dave.
There we go. I can be.
Okay, so let's move on to the next bit of news, and it's the other striker we're going for. And apparently, although we heard that they're going to drop their asking price. Leipzig now wants 71.8 million or something like that. It works out in pounds, but in euros it's 90 something in euros, and it works out 70 or 89, something like that. It works out nearly 72 million. They're digging their bills in. Not only that, Sesko wants the release clause in his contracts as well. What do you think about this one? So not only does Sesko want the release clause, Leipzig.
Well, to be fair, we don't want Sesko.
The fan base is divided on this one. They're divided on it over them two.
To be fair, again, for me, I've heard him called the next Ireland. You know what I mean? But come on, like, you know, he's not proven. I heard you call him a couple of weeks ago, Lee. He's the next Kai Havertz, or he's just. But to me, that's what he is. He's gonna. He'd be a good number 10, maybe. You know what I mean? If we could get him in our squad, I wouldn't say no to him as a squad player. But
he said that last week about him playing behind the striker.
Yeah. But to be fair, as an out-and-out striker, I'd be disappointed if we got him.
Drops deep too much, didn't he? He drops deep.
If I was to get Sesko, I'd rather get him. Let's say if push comes to shove and there was nobody else, and like, you know, we had to get him. It's like what I said. I wouldn't play him as a striker. I would have to change the formation 4-2-3-1 and play him in Odegaard's position, like behind the striker. Because you know, I know your opinions on Odegaard. My opinions ain't great on him either. So let's demote Odegaard to the bench, and if we have got to bring in Sesko, play him behind the front striker.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to get to do that. Eze or Rogers. Yeah, them two do me.
Yeah.
Rich 99 is saying this Sesko to be is pathetic. 3 seasons, no striker, and we're going for a potential. Like a project striker, like a 21-year-old. This is just another BS excuse for Arteta and for him to make a new phase number up. So what would it be? Phase 7 or phase 8? Do you know what I mean? I get that, man. Well,
I think we're past that. We're in double figures.
I totally agree, Rich. I totally agree with you. What phase? First of all, it was a youth project, wasn't it? Then it was something else. Fucking what do they call it? Can't remember what they called it now. They called it so many different things, and then they started putting it in phases. And yeah, like Rich is saying, it's bullshit, mate. It's BS. If we had done everything right in the windows, we should now be in a position to go all out and get Isaac. But this manager's messed so many windows up, he'll never get the right balance. Exactly. Another thing he said, right, the amount of shit that he's bought, the amount of shit that he's wasted, that he's wasted money on.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. Yes, Jesus. When we first got him, how excited was we that we got Jesus? Everyone was excited. It was like fucking, we put a name on the map again, you know what I mean? But look at him, you know, like, how much of a disappointment was he? Like, he got 5 goals in his first 5 starts, so everyone was all boosted, and then injured, you know what I mean?
As much time as he's played, you know, throughout his career.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, of course he has, yeah. But then why go? Obviously, everyone was happy about him. Yeah, he's brilliant. But again, it was another mistake. There's Declan Rice, to be fair, is an unbelievable buy. Like, that's pretty much got to be his best buy he's done. You know what I mean? To be fair, The likes of when he bought Zinchenko, that was a good call. I believe, not for the second season, but for our third season with him, he filled the void when we needed him to. But yeah, ever since them two, to be fair, Kai Havertz, he puts a shift in and stuff like that. But to spend that much money for a player that just puts a shift in, it's not right.
I don't rate Havertz, not one bit.
I don't rate
What does he do? He's supposed to be the German word for his position that he likes to play, and I can't fucking think what it's called. But it's basically like a space investigator. They call all these top tacticians and that say, like, he looks for snakes Like some man. Like,
To be fair, though, he's our best choice to fit in. He's our best choice to fit in for a goal scorer.
Too much football.
Yeah, so who would you put in that role other than Havertz to strike? Myself personally, I think Martinelli should have been given a try as well for a couple of games. But
up front, absolutely.
Up front, I do believe that, to be fair. But when he first come to us, he comes to us as a striker. Again, we've delved him to the left wing. But you know what I mean? I do think that he should have been given a try. But who else would you put there other than Martinelli and Havertz itself out of our squad? He tried Marino, and Marino he worked out for a few games, but
just
in that striker role,
fucking striker in January, Anthony.
Yeah, we should have done. But at the same time, what striker would you get in January? If say like a Martinez who's in Milan, they're in. Oh yeah, Ollie Watkins. To be fair,
we got Ollie Watkins in January. We didn't want to pay the money again. He wanted to come. He's an Arsenal fan.
But I know he is. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I'll shut my mouth there. I totally agree with you. I forgot about Ollie Watkins, so I totally agree with you.
Who knows to shut up?
Yes.
But he did have 60 million to spend in January, Mikel Arteta. But he didn't spend it.
Watkins, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ready for Watkins.
I'll be back in 2 minutes, brother. I'll leave on the thing with brother.
McManus is saying, sack him there, get a proper manager in.
But who would you replace him with?
Who would you replace him with, McManus? I said
who would you replace him with? Yes,
I had said that the only way this stops, guys, is if we get new owners. Wipe a lot out, give Berta 1 year. We will never go the extra mile with Cronkies and never right balance with Arteta. Listen, in all honesty, the Cronkies are backed Arteta.
Yeah.
Or whatever he's had.
They back every sports team they have. Every sports team they have, they back. Every sports team they have just won the titles except for us. They back every sports team they've got.
They have. You can't say they haven't. They have. They have back. He spent it wrong. He spent it on complete shit. Most of it.
Yeah.
The only one.
Do you know that Super Mendy? You think of it, Super Mendy. Let's just see 50 million. Right? Let's just see that. I know it's 55 or whatever, but let's see 50. That's brought that up to 900 million pounds spent. Right? Yeah. He then got to spend another 100 million. Mikel Arteta spent his first £1 billion. And what's he got to shoot for it?
Yeah. You can't count the FA Cup because he didn't buy no one. He come in the December that year.
That was that FA Cup team. That when he won that FA Cup, right? I'll tell you the truth now. That was 80% Arsene Wenger's team and 20% Unai Emery's because Unai Emery wasn't backed, as we know. So, do you know what I'm saying?
We've got to stop buying Chelsea rejects, says McManus. Yeah. All these players we are linked with, and I bet the majority of Arsenal fans only wanting Rodrigo and Eze. Apparently, we're going to come on to Rodrigo in a minute, but apparently it's not going to be a Rodrigo or Eze. It's going to be a Rodrigo and Eze. Eze is apparently, we're looking at Eze as the 10, like we were talking about, and Rodrigo as a left winger. That could be curtains for either Martinelli or Trossard, which we'll come on to as well. But this is what I've been seeing all around. Because you know what, when I do these podcasts, I do little videos as well, shorts, everything. I'll sort of do a bit of research. Obviously, look around, see what's buzzing, see what's hot, and I'll react to it. So I'm seeing a lot of, the Ben Jacobs, the David Alsteins, the Fabrizio Romanos, Florian Plattenberg, loads of these top credible journalists. We're all similar, saying the same thing. Then they might retract it a little bit, and another one to say this and that. No one really knows for sure, but they all agree that this is going to be your two separate deals, not either or, that they're going for, Eze and Rodrigo.
Oh, I don't listen to that. I listen to the little videos that comes on YouTube. You might know him, Lee Albert. He goes, "Yes, Lionel Messi next week." Arsenal fans, I don't believe it. And it's like, what? Nice one, Lee.
He's taking the piss out of me, Dave. Don't let him do it. We could have loaned Tony in January. That's true. He's not happy out there.
Tony come to Arsenal for an interview, and they said his attitude was all wrong.
Yeah,
Arteta. Have you ever watched that Arteta thing as well on that Arsenal thing on Prime? Arteta doesn't like Tony. He makes a statement in one of the training sessions of something on Twitter that he puts.
It was called All or Nothing, weren't it? All or Nothing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, All or Nothing. Yeah. In one of them thingies, Arteta, Tony tweets when Brentford beat us, tweet something about a kick around in the park. And Arteta pulls it up in training.
I remember that.
Yeah, Arteta doesn't like Tony.
Yeah, because he showed him up. That's why.
Just to
obviously, that's it. But he said when he went to the training ground for to have a look when we were potentially going to buy him, said his attitude was all wrong. He was like, they want someone that's going to be there for Arsenal, but he was there for Ivan Toney.
Yeah. But that was quality, though, Ant. You got to admit that on that All or Nothing. He was in the training ground. He had the speakers up right there, and they were blasting out, "You never walk alone." He said, "Come on, guys, this is what we're up against. We could play against Liverpool. We lose fucking 3-0. What's that all about?"
Yeah.
Too fair. I know. But I did like the way and praise the way he handled Aubameyang, though. To be fair, the way Aubameyang took the piss out of him in front of everyone. And the next day he was gone. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that shows the old style that we need. You know what I mean? That got everyone else in line. Like, he was our top talent, captain. You know what I mean? He said to him, "Did you learn that?" He's like, "No." That was it. He's gone. See you later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's true. He don't like.
That reminded me of the old days, like Alex Ferguson. You know what I mean? He'd do something like that.
You need a maverick.
Say again?
You need a maverick in your team. You need a maverick.
Yeah, but to be fair, I understand that, but we've got that now. We see a maverick is different. We need a fighter in our team. Someone that's going to break the rules is different. You know what I mean? But a fighter is what you need, and we've got that now in Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, and that's it. He's a rulist, and so he's the ultimate. To me, he's the one that should be captain.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and with Gabriel was vice captain. That's two.
Gabriel's unbelievable. Like, they all talk about Saliba, you know what I mean? But if we lost Gabriel, we'd be fucking hurt us.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. I don't know why he's got Odegaard. I mean, fucking hell. I mean, I think a Ferry could be more fucking of a captain than what fucking Odegaard could be. Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those the signs of when we had him on loan, and like when his first 6 months when he came to us, he was unbelievable. He just thought if he can get that form back, then we've got a good player there. But he's not our captain. No way should he be our captain.
No.
Are you talking?
I think Declan Rice does a better role. We'll do a better role behind that that striker than he would. You can put Declan Rice in goal and he'll give you a shift. You know what I mean? He's unbelievable, mate. His heart's right where his sleeve is, and that's what we need as players. We need loads of players like that. The Saka's like it. You know what I mean? That's what I used to rate about Ramsdale. But Ramsdale used to say, "I don't even sleep if we lose." Like, I love that in a player. You know what I mean? I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. Are you on about when Odegaard when he scored 15 league goals for us? Are you on about that? Then do you know what? That's the. I always say that was the best season we had. And do you know what? We played 4-2-3-1. That formation, we played that when he scored because we had Odegaard on 15 goals. We had Martinelli on 15. Saka was on 15, and we had Jesus who scored. I think he was on 12 or 13, but he had that injury, didn't he?
Yeah, he went injured for about 5 months in between, didn't he?
But we had goals all over the pitch. Didn't we? So, like in the attacking area.
Mate, if we can get that same Odegaard back, if that Odegaard comes back to us, then for me, he deserves to wear the band. That as you said, that 15-goal Odegaard. But now, in a minute, I wouldn't even have him in my team.
No.
If we added Sesko to our lineup behind Gyokeres, I think to myself, Odegaard should be worried about his job.
Mm.
Right, so let's catch up with the chat. Excuse me. Why did we buy Havertz? This joke of a manager sacked off Uber and never bought a striker and still hasn't. Absolutely. he hasn't replaced Aubameyang. He was quick to get rid of him, but he's not replaced him. 3 years, isn't it? It's been 3. He's been to Barcelona and Chelsea.
Yeah, well, mate, yeah, to be fair, again, how can you not replace him?
Yeah,
And
There's strikers out there that you, mate, want to give us a shift everywhere. Even Lukaku, the Carpet, whatever his name is.
So what would surprise me? Because Leon have been relegated, didn't they? Probably. Don't know for sure yet. Lacazette's there. Yeah. Lacazette's there.
What do you reckon Lacazette's going to come back? Yeah.
He's too old, Lacazette. He's 34. No, he's 34.
I'm just waiting till January we get a better striker.
Yeah.
Listen, it won't surprise me. We should have signed Elise and Eze last summer, along with Ivan Toney. Says AFC always.
Well, we shouldn't have let Eze go. We shouldn't have. He was in our reserves. He played for Arsenal reserves, Eze. So we should never let him go.
Let go.
Yeah, he was in the youth team. They let him go when he was about 13, I think. Or 14.
Yeah, 13. That's it. When I read it the other day. I read it in the Evening Standard. No, on the live online on the Evening Standard. I read that. He was talking about how good it would be to go back to a club that let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And stuff like that, which is a good sign, obviously. But he said he left. But it was heartbreaking when he got let go at 13. So to go back to a club that let him go to show him what he could do would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Again, he's a good sign, to be fair. And I'd rather him over anyone. Anyone that we talk about for me, he's a proven Premier League player.
Yeah.
And to be fair, that's what we want. A player that's going to come in. We want a player that's going to come in and make that impact straight away.
How about Morgan Rogers?
Morgan Rogers is an unbelievable player, to be fair. I do, yeah.
I'll give you another one.
Again, I'd rather Morgan Rogers in my team than Sesko. I think if Morgan Rogers come into our team and we played him in that higher role, I think it would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I prefer an English player over anyone, to be honest with you. I would.
And guess what as well? Someone said on a video, Thomas, I can't remember his name, Thomas something, mentioned a player that I just forgot about, who was absolutely immense last year, Ilanga.
Yeah, I see that yesterday. Yeah, Ilanga,
yeah.
What's the
ex-Man United player?
But he's
another Anthony as well.
Another Anthony as well. Yeah. See, he produced class.
How good did he have? Season
to be fair, I do. I also saw that comment that you're talking about. To be fair, he mentioned Hudson-Odoi in the same.
Hudson-Odoi as well. Yeah.
It's Hudson-Odoi as well. Again, he's an ex-Chelsea player. He's done well. He's done well at Forest, but I wouldn't have him as a main person. I think Elanga that can come in. Hudson-Odoi do as a shift as a backup.
Backup for Saka.
Yeah, but I think Elanga would be perfect, really, as well. As long as Easy is not coming to us here, he's coming to us as backup. He's coming to us to go straight into that team. And if we can get Elanga as well, then he's back up for both. And Elanga can play both wings. Yeah. So he's versatile enough. I think he can play the number 10 role as well, I believe, Elanga.
He likes versatility, didn't he? Mamouche wasn't even meant to be signed until the summer. That's true. City ain't missing about. They've spent about 200 million as well already. Before they spent their money before the first little window ended in the first week, didn't they?
Yeah.
Man City.
I mean, we were interested in him, weren't we, Mamouche? We were interested in him.
Let's catch up with the chat. Yes, I agree. The Cronkies have definitely backed Arteta. Kind of mean they just won't go the extra mile, even demand we must sign strikers. Show ambition. Well, we'll soon see, won't we? We'll soon next couple of weeks. We'll soon fucking see, bro.
I read something today that Gyokeres, he's agreed personal terms with Arsenal.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, let's just catch up with the chat. 1 minute. Only way we get our Arsenal back is for the Cronkies to fuck off. He hates everyone. AFC always hates Arteta and the Cronkies and the board. He hates everyone. He loves Arsenal, but he hates everybody else. Diego Simeone is getting managers now. Mancini, Allegri. We could have got Ancelotti before we got Arteta. Yes, he went to Everton. That's we could have got our Ancelotti, bro. There are managers out there. People act like Arteta is one of the best managers in the world. 1 FA Cup in 5 years. That's true. Slot come in and won the Premier League in his first year. Bought one player. And he didn't hardly use him. He got injured, didn't he?
Chiesa, yeah.
Yeah. I'm already subbed to channel. Thanks for my channel call out. I'm not fully set up yet, etc. Okay, all right. But you're streaming tonight, yeah? If you're streaming tonight, hopefully I can have a look. I can watch it on the replay. I'll have a little look at your channel, bro. Anyway,
Yeah.
if you put your handle in, I'll have a look at it, man. Maybe guest on here one day if you want, Rich. You can guest on here. We're every Thursday during the summer window. You're more than welcome. Great stream, guys. Thank you. 12 years ago, we did 40 million plus £1 for Suarez. Yes, we did. We did. That was that weren't Arteta though. You can't blame him for that. That was Wenger. Odegaard, weak is captain. Yeah, definitely. Oh, my brother's gone. When we one of our best players last season, Arteta took the piss out of him towards the end. There was apparently a little fallout between the two, Rich, weren't there? You heard it as well, Anthony, didn't you?
It was, because apparently Namweri, he turned up late one day for training. And I thought to myself, right, okay, fine, I get it. But I think with Mikel Arteta, I think he prolonged that punishment too long, in my opinion, because you look at Namweri, when he come in, the skill on the boy is unbelievable.
It was just like Saka, cutting him from the right onto his left. He can play in the 10. He can play on the left wing as well. Namweri can play right across. He can also play up front.
Because he turned up late once for training. And Mikel Arteta, I think he done his punishment. He prolonged his punishment. What he should have done was, you turn up late training again, you're going to be on the bench, right? You turn up training late again after that, I'm going to find you 2 weeks' wages.
Yeah,
that's the way to go. Not to fucking walk away for the rest of the season.
Of course. There's ways of doing things. Not just be a narcissist and say, I'm right, you're wrong, fuck off. That's Arteta. That's Arteta, mate.
Yeah. I know for a fact, if I was Namweri, I would have fucking smacked Arteta. If he had done that to me, I would have. I would have
run crying. You messed me hair up. I've got I've just put me just for me on.
I'd have turned around and went smack. Have that, you Lego head prick.
There's no way that Lego head doesn't use Just for Men or some sort of air dye.
It doesn't move. It doesn't move in the wind. It just stays. Doesn't it?
A tin of air spray on it. Oh, that was it. Gone to the Saudi League. Okay, thanks for that, Rich. Didn't know that, bro. So, did we even discuss this? RB Leipzig. He ain't worth 72 million. RB Leipzig. So let's move on. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Right. Let's have a look at this. I've heard this as well. This was some trending news as well. Trending. There was a lot of people were saying it. Rodrigo, he hasn't played for 2 or 3 games. He's been on the bench. He hasn't got into the team. Someone else has played left wing and backed his out. Someone else, Bellingham's even played at left wing in the one of the games at least, to my knowledge. Rodrigo's been benched, not getting game time. Apparently, after the Club World Cup, he's going to hand in a transfer request. Your thoughts?
I did read the same thing, to be fair.
Yeah, I did as well. I did. I think it's if he wants out, it proves that the player's not happy. And obviously, when you play for one of the best teams in the world, and you can't get first team football, then you're going to want to leave. Absolutely. I think players normally want to go for the wages, but this guy here sounds legit. He wants to play for a team where he can get first team football and get games under his belt, and that is what I respect in a young player. So if we can get him, brilliant. I'm all for that. And I know you don't want Martinelli to go, Lee, but if it means him coming in and selling Martinelli 50 million to Bayern Munich, I would do that.
I wouldn't. I'll tell you for why. Right? Because this is what I've heard today. Trossard's got a year left on his contract. He wants more fucking money. He's not signed the contract. He's been offered a contract. He wants more money. He's got a year left.
I told you this is when he refused to sign a contract, and I did see this. He refused to sign an extra contract because he's doing the same as what Thomas Partey wants. They all want more money. Well, I'm not being funny. Trossard is on. I'll be honest with you now. Trossard is almost 31. If not, he's 31 at least. So
it's a no-brainer. Keep Martinelli. Do everything you can to keep Martinelli. Sign Rodrigo. Fucking sell Trossard. Don't sell Martinelli, mate. I love the player.
I like the guy, but Martinelli, he's lost a yard of pace. He's got his goal scoring record isn't that great now. What it used to be.
No, he needs the left back behind him, the proper left back, not an inverted one. That's all he needs, and
that's what he wanted. He had that in Kirantini, but look, Mikel Arteta balls that up. Arteta balls that up.
I don't think he's lost the pace. He's quick as lightning. He just needs that safety net behind him.
Lee, he's
mate,
not.
But that goal he scored against Real Madrid, mate, he's not lost no pace. He was lightning when he was
in that game, yeah. But when you look at him in the other, because you think of it, there's 38 games in the Premier League. He does. It's like with Saka all the time. If you've got that player that's constantly playing and that needs a break. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It burns him out. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's fatigue.
That's why we're talking about Williams now for strength in depth.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need. That's what City's had all the time. That's what all these players. That's what all these teams have had. We've had players that we've burnt out. We've not had strength in depth. That's why we've gone against these big teams like Real Madrid and we've smashed them. But then next week, them same players 2 days later are all playing. They're all fucked, and we're getting beat by a fucking 2-0 at Brentford.
Yeah,
that's
exactly that, Anthony. We haven't got the squad depth to rotate, not just
no, we haven't.
Backup, but to replace and to compete for them positions.
Yeah, and that's what it's about.
Keep everyone fresh. All right, play 3 games on the road. Then you can have a day off this week. Maybe come on last 15 minutes. Whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what you need.
That's why Saka's
every team that's won the Premiership have had that in their squad. They've had that in their squad. Down to Man United years ago with Alex Ferguson, they had a second team that they could put on that would still win.
Yeah.
We've not got that. We can change 4 or 5 players. But our main spine has to stay the same every game, otherwise we're fucked.
To keep out of 2 centre backs, a DM and a striker, basically.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. This new centre back we're talking about, don't you? Well, he looks good and stuff like that. He's young enough, he's going to have time to gel and stuff like that. But to be fair, we need players that are who've been playing in the Premiership all the time that are willing to come in and sit on that bench. These. Like the players that are going to come. Pardon?
And fight for their place. Fight for them.
Fight for their place. Yeah, of course, yeah. And that's what they need. And then not only that, that'll make our players better. You know what I mean? It pushes them forward, you know what I mean? It unlocks doors they didn't even know they had. Unbelievable.
Listen, if you've got 2 competent players in every position, then you're sweet. You fucking
it is. We had that under Wenger.
We did.
You know what I'm saying?
We did in the double years. The 98 season.
We had that under Wenger. You think it's an attacking opportunity we had? We had Bergkamp up front. Then we had the likes of Bergkamp, Nicolas Anelka. Then it was Adebayor. Do you remember Sylvain Wiltord before Henry?
Yeah,
the French striker Wiltord. The Beast, the Baptiste, was it or something from on loan?
Yeah, Julio Baptista. Yeah, we swapped him with Reyes. That Baptista.
Yeah.
Reyes went the other way.
Quality. Number 1.
Yeah. He done another.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's right.
4 goals against Inter Milan. Was it 3 or 4?
Or Shavin? It was no. Sorry, I thought you meant Liverpool 4 goals. Sorry.
No, that was 4-4 that game. Arshavin got all the 4 goals.
Yeah,
Is it 5-1 we beat Inter Milan? Didn't Wiltord get 3 or 4 to go?
We did.
Will Tour.
I'm not too sure I will see it. It came up on me thing, the timeline thing the other day about Arsenal winning at Milan. No, that this day Arsenal beating at Milan 5-1.
Yeah.
I think Will Tour did he get an hat-trick? Didn't Will Tour get an hat-trick?
You either got 3 or 4. I'm fucking sure of it. Sure of it.
Like, even down to then, like we had Tony Adams and Sol Campbell in defence for a little while, and then we had Martin Keown sitting on the bench. The defender of Martin Keown standard sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? He was coming in, and he was. You know what I mean? He was taking off where the defenders. He was picking up where the defenders left. You know what I mean? We haven't got that now. If we've not got them 2 centre backs in our centre back positions, we're all worried.
Look, I was shitting myself when Kiwi or coming for Gabriel towards the end of the season.
He done a shift. He done a shift. But he did. But you sit as an Arsenal fan. I'm sitting there, and you don't see Gabriel and Salah. I'm like, oh, my heart. You know what I mean? And we need another defender there that again challenges them. You know what I mean? But you know, it's and again, I don't think this Mosquari or whatever his name is the one for it.
Like what you put on what you put on there?
You can call that Madagascar. yeah, Madagascar. Put that Madagascar on your face, Lee. Yeah. Yeah.
I said to my sister, she was young. She was putting the eye thing on, your eyelash thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I didn't say the word right. I said I called it Madagascar. I'm like, take that off your face. That Madagascar.
take that Madagascar off your face.
Right. So there, we're going to the final topic, guys. The final. So people have probably had enough of us now already. But the final, and I heard this today as well, which was, dismissed immediately by the player himself.
Do you need a drum roll?
He dismissed it himself immediately.
I know that being a Spanish player is
today. Sorry. What do you think of that?
Right. If you're a Spanish player, it's basically you, Lee. Being in Arsenal, you say you're playing in Spain. You're playing for like a top 4 team, Valencia, Villarreal or something. Arsenal come calling. Yeah, you might dismiss it straight away for the fans or anything, but in your head, what you're doing.
Listen, look at early on in the season. Who was they after? They was after Skelly. They was after. They was after someone else as well. Can't think.
They always say that after having a few good games, though, don't they? After anyone's had a few good games, Madrid won them. I would be worried about this because Ray's Spanish. And to be fair, Courtois, their goalkeeper he's coming towards the end now as well. He's not as good as he once was.
He's brilliant.
He was brilliant at Chelsea, unbelievable. He's not the same keeper as he was at Madrid as he was Chelsea.
This is clickbait. This is to get the fans up roaring and all this and that.
Yeah. Well, every year they used to do with Fabregas.
Yeah, Real Madrid want Rea. And I'm not slating Rea because he's a joint Golden Glove last season with another. Who was the other? Sells, wasn't it, from Forest?
Yeah, Sells.
Yeah. So they shared the Golden Glove last season, and Rea got it the season before. But in all fairness, I'm not slagging off Rea here. He's a good goalkeeper, but in all fairness, there are slightly better ones out there. There's not many, but there are slightly ones better out there, and I'll be on, and that's true. But all I'm going to say is this is rubbish. This is the biggest clickbait going, and what it is to rile fans and worry fans. All this and that is nonsense. Because if Rea went to Real Madrid, he won't be the first team goalkeeper if he went to Real Madrid. No.
Okay.
Well, that's right.
I thought that was the last one, but I've just seen another one, another banner. I'm going to put it across now. We're going to finish the night on this. Confirmed deals at the window.
He's got another banner after this, and he's got another. Guess what his next banner is? Guess what his next banner is? Who's the better looking bro? I say Ant. I say Ant.
Yeah, that's me, that, man. That's me.
I'm 10 years older than him. Right, I'm 10
Yeah,
years. And
10
1
years.
week.
10 years.
Listen to this
Yeah,
story.
10 years uglier and all. That's what it is,
Yeah.
mate. Yeah. It
Listen
is.
to this story, right? I remember I was 10 years old, just turned 10, right?
Right.
I think he was due like just after my birthday. And my auntie, who's now in with the Angels, Leslie, she went to me, if he's born on your birthday, that's your birthday present, you know. You won't be getting nothing else. Oh man, that fucking broke my heart. I was shouting at my mum. Hey, yeah, don't come out of there. Yeah, I told you that story, Dave, didn't I?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
confirmed deals then. The confirmed deals, Chelsea, another Chelsea fucking player, goalkeeper, decent backup though. You've got to
I
admit,
think he is. Yeah.
we've actually, on this deal, we've actually pulled Chelsea's pants down.
Yeah.
For what
I
reason,
reckon,
there
yeah.
were 5 million release calls. Why was there 5 and they paid like 80 million for him?
It's,
He had a good season on loan. He had a good season on loan last season.
Bournemouth.
Was he at Brentford at loan last season, wasn't he? He was at Brentford, wasn't
Bournemouth.
he? Bournemouth, that's right, Bournemouth. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a decent season there, and for whatever reason, we loaned a player. We loaned a player that we was cup tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, so, you know, and now we would have bought another Chelsea fucking reject, really. But we paid.
Yeah,
I
that
think
didn't
it's
make
decent
sense.
business.
Yeah.
I think it's decent
See,
business.
to be fair, he was only cut from the Chelsea team though because he had an argument, though, weren't he? It weren't because of his performances, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't he fall out with someone in the Chelsea backroom, and that's what he sort of was cut
he
for.
did, yeah. And he
It
wasn't getting
it wasn't
first
his
team football.
performances.
Yeah,
Was that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't getting first team football, and he just wanted to move. And
So-
him and Chelsea agreed. They said, "Well, look, what we'll do, we'll send you out on loan." Hence, that was why he went to Bournemouth. And he said, "You've got, and we'll give you, if you agree to it, a £5 million buyout clause.
Yeah.
That was what it was. So obviously, the 5 million. And I'll be honest with you, and I agree with what Lee just said. You know, this is the first time I agreed with Lee. How long we've been streaming? A year and a half. Right? So you know that is a steal. It is a steal in my opinion. You know, for 5 million. So that's good. So fair play, Lee. That's the first time I've ever agreed with you on anything.
So let's go.
Clip that and clip it. Right?
The reason I'm going to turn that into a short. That you're fucking agreeing with me. So the reason why I want to
I do agree as well. To be fair, I think it's a good backup goalkeeper. And to be fair, out there now, other than that Joan or whatever, it's Garcia who went to Barcelona, I believe. There ain't really a goalkeeper out there that will, you know what I mean, that will really challenge.
He's not going to take it again. He's got.
And I don't think he is. But as going back to what we were talking earlier, he's that stature that will challenge him for that place.
Yeah.
And again, that's what we need.
So the reason why I wanted to do confirmed deals, this is the only one that's we've seen a picture of him signing the contract anyway. But we know Zubimendi and Norgard are done, right? We know them other two are done as well. So I just want to quickly get your ratings out of 10 on the 3 deals. First of all, obviously, Kepa.
I'll give it a 7.
I said I was going to say a 7 out of 10.
Norgard.
6.
4.
And Zubimendi.
Again, I'll say it was 7.5.
Oh, 7.8. What's yours, Lee?
Yeah.
You had, what? How do you rate Cap out of 10?
Out of 10, I think all round, I'd say an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. Okay.
Price, experience, you know, his quality.
See that.
Zubimendi, I'm going to go for an 8. And Norgard, I'm going to go for. It's very underwhelming for me, but 5. I think a 5 out of 10 because of the Premier League experience, saves him a little bit. No, he's good.
That's why I'll give him a 6. To be fair, that's why I'll give him a 6 for.
He's good at winning the ball back. He ain't got the legs to run with the ball after that. He can play the short pass after that, but he can win the ball back.
He's a Mark Noble, a Scott Parker. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need them players in your team to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is with this Norgard, we're getting, what you two are saying, he can win a ball and also he can ping a ball out to a player.
He can pass it.
He plays a short passer.
He'll win the ball.
I've never seen him spray a ball. He might be able to. But I've not seen it in his lockup of what I've seen of him.
Yeah.
He's good at winning the ball. He was captain at Brentford, don't forget. And they're having a bad season, but they're going to be decimated.
I just don't feel he's the right guy, though. I don't feel he's the right guy. You look at it.
But I think he's only come in for Premier League experience.
I know, but I mean, you look at the quality what Liverpool signed, and they have signed quality players. Man City have signed. They've signed great players. Man City, they signed 5 players so far. Man City, 5 players. All right, we've got 3, but now you've got to think. Man City are up there. They're going to be competing. I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but they are going to be up there. So with us competing with the likes of Man City and mostly Liverpool, I thought we would have most probably gone in for a better player than Norgard, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I do. But again, I just think he's cheap enough, and he's just coming in for Premier League experience. For a 31-year-old to come to a team like Arsenal when you've been at Brentford for so long, you only come in for Premier League experience. It's the same with Jorginho. Yeah. He's only come for Premier League experience. That was it. He's there to help the players come along, give the players that's not got it that experience, and sometimes you need that. You need that leader in your team. You know what I mean? You need that, as you said earlier, Lee, you need that maverick. You need that fighter. You know what I mean? If he's going to see, and if you're going to see, go on. Yes, and if you're going to be that inspiration to our new players, I welcome him, mate. To be fair, I will do. But in my head, that's the only reason he's come for.
Yeah.
Because these players that we've got, Zubimendi can spray a ball, Marino can spray a ball, but he's going to be there, teach them how to win it and win it properly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Premier League style.
That's true. I heard Lee sprays his ball, his head, when he had air. It was just for men, wasn't it? Because he used to dye his hair, didn't
he? Lee used to get a special one. It was called Just for Wallies.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is what happens when you get your brother on the fucking stream. He takes the piss.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I can do some 180 miles away. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're lucky you live in Liverpool now. Anyway, we're gonna say goodnight now. God bless everybody. Thanks everybody in the chat. Go and check out Richie99 Arsenal. He's streaming tonight at 10 p.m. I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll watch that. Give him a watch.
But I mean, we might be able to find him with that name. I don't know. But
yeah, anyway, that's the name of his show. That is the name of his show.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's the name of his show. Anyway, we're going to go now. I'm very tired. Been up since fucking
you're a Del boy, aren't you? You're a Del boy and you're Robin Reliant now, I hear. Yeah.
Don't tell me that people start calling me Rodney, look.
Why do you think I'm calling Dave?
Del boy and Rodney.
Yeah, that's it. Man, I'm tall as well. I'm the mystery. I'm tall.
Yeah. Lee, that's a thumbnail right there, isn't it? If Ant comes on, Del Boy and Rodney featuring Anthony. Yeah, that's it.
He's 6'4". I'm 5'5". Fuck knows what happened there. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you're 5'5".
I'm only 5'5", yeah.
Fucking hell, you're the same height as my mum. Fuck you now. Hey, he's on a fucking. Do you know what he's at? When he goes on live on a show, he ain't sitting on no fucking sofa. He's sat on a fucking bar stool. That's what he's sat on, isn't he? So he can see the camera.
And it's got yellow pages on top of it.
Oh yeah, he was the boy in the advert, wasn't he? He was the boy in the advert.
That's how he got his first kiss.
Yeah. I'm going to stop this now because they keep ripping the life out of me now. I've got to go. Hey, listen. See you
I'll
later,
see you,
bro.
Ant. Nice being on the show.
Love you all. Well,
Right.
that's
We're going to obviously say, again, condolences to Diogo, Jota's family, friends, fans. Good night. God bless. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye, Dad.